important to note, right, that when we are talking about break of structure, for example, if we see prices making clear bullish structures like this of higher highs and higher lows, right, when we say that there is a break of structure is when what this lower high gets taken out by what prices breaks above the last lower high. This is when we say that that there is a break of structure. Okay, it's very important to take note of this. If prices comes down, makes another higher low point right here. Let's take this. If prices comes back, makes another higher low point right here, and takes what this lower high off. This is when we'll say that what there is a break of structure. Okay, so this is what indicates what a break of structure. Okay, if it's a bullish structure, it means that what that the last lower high was taken off. Okay, just as we can see, or the last higher high was taken off. Okay, so these are the things that indicate what a bullish, a break of the bullish structure. What about the bearish structure? Okay, for example, if we see prices make clear coordinations like this, lower highs and lower lows, right? If prices comes and takes this lower low off, this is when we say that yes, there's been a break of structure. So this is what break of structure means. Okay, if prices goes ahead again, at whatever level, and comes, takes the last lower high off, this is where we say that what there's a break of structure. So let me put the bullish one on the left and the bearish one on the right so that we understand the concept. Okay, so from here, this is this, the last lower high or the last higher high, because this is an higher high, is higher than the previous high, right? Once that last higher high gets taken up, this is what is regarded as what as a break of structure. Okay, the last higher high has gotten taken up. Right now, price has gone to create another higher high. This is what is indicated as what as a break of structure. What about on the bearish side? On the bearish side, if we see prices do the same thing also, this time around, the last lower low, this is the lower low, right? It's a low that's lower than the previous one. The last lower low gets taken off. This is what is known as what as a break of structure. This means that what now when we are talking about break of structure, it means that what that prices is still continuing in that overall character. Okay, it is still continuing in that overall character. For example, on the left side, these are what clear bullish characters, right, of higher highs and higher lows. So if we see a break of structure, it means that prices just went ahead on the left side. Now prices just went ahead to create another higher high. Okay, while on the right side, if we see a break of structure, it means prices just went ahead to create what a lower low, but they are still of the same character. When we say they are the same character, it means that what they are still of clear structures of higher highs and higher lows on the left side, and on the right side, they are still of clear structures of lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so this is very important when it comes to what the break of structure. Okay, how about on the other side when we talk about change of character? Now, change of character now. This is it. For example, the original characters here are clearly bullish characters. Then what? Instead of prices continuing and breaking structure to the top side on clear higher highs and higher lows, instead of prices doing that, the last higher low gets taken off, and there is what? There's a change of character. The characters are no more bullish. Okay, right now there's been a change of character by what? By prices closing below the last higher low to indicate that what? To indicate that the bulls are no more in charge of prices, either temporarily or permanently. But the bulls are no more in charge of prices, and the bears are now in charge of prices. So we'll put this as COS, change of character. Okay, very important. Then what about on the other side? On the other side, we can see prices make movements like this, push exhaustion, push to this level. If we see that what the last lower high gets taken off, this is a change of character. Okay, so that is what it means. The last lower high has gotten taken off, and the character, instead of clear characters of lower highs and lower lows, right now it now means that our price has changed character, and right now we can see an higher high. Okay, so this is very, very important before going forward. I just had to just clarify, these two terminologies. Okay, so going back onto the chart, let's just go ahead and take gold. Okay, so we're going to analyze gold today and see what is going on gold. Before market opening, I had analyzed gold with some of my students. We had seen gold, and we had basically broken it down to what we're expecting for the week on gold. Okay, remember that we are short swing traders. So when we come onto the week, usually we see about 1 to 2 opportunities a week. So when we come onto the week, we don't expect to see opportunities every day. Those are for day traders. But for us as swing traders, we basically just pick one opportunity a week or two opportunities a week. Then how do we equal these day traders? We what? We have a bigger account size. Now, getting bigger account size does not really mean, you should have achieved, success over the years in trading. As simple as a prop firm can offer you a $50,000 account, at maybe 100 plus US dollars or something like that. They can offer a 50K account. And imagine you have a 50K account and you're risking 1%. If you go for 1:3 risk to reward, that is what 500 USD per trade, and you're making 1 to 3. That is 1,500. You understand? So you can get a 50K account, you can get a 100K account, and if you have the means, you can get a 200K account. That allows us to be able to balance, and basically make money without having to over trade. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and break down gold until we see a real-time trade entry opportunity. This is every single thing we do when it comes to trading. The full breakdown is what I'm going to go ahead and show you right now. Okay, so what is the first thing we do? The first thing you do when you come onto the chart, right, is to come onto the monthly time frame. As you can see, this is the monthly time frame here. Then on the monthly time frame, what do you do? You identify the real-time points where price is at. All of these zones here, as we can see, is the real-time points where price is at. Now that that has been identified, what do? We now read the structures that took prices to the real-time point where price is at. We want to understand the structures that took prices there. Now, what are the structures? I'll just take it from here. Okay, this is what push exhaustion. The prices went ahead and made a big structure. This is push exhaustion. All clear structures of higher highs and higher lows. The price now started by making smaller structures, right? Price made structures of what? Of push, exhaustion to this level, push to this level, exhaustion to this level. Price went ahead, made a bigger structure here, push, exhaustion to this level. All clear structures of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, then after this, what the prices do, we started smaller structures. You can see that what you are familiar with the fact right now that fractals are measured by the length of the exhaustion. So you can see that first of all, prices made a small one, made a very big one. This is the biggest fractal here. Fractals, you might also see me interchanging the word fractals with structure circles, right? So you can see this exhaustion here is quite big. The price now size smaller exhaustions before making this one, which is also big, right? The price now made a small one right here, push, exhaustion here. Then price now made this tiny one here, push, exhaustion here, then push to this level, all in clear coordination of what? Of higher highs and higher lows. So what are we now going to do? We will now take what? We'll now take the last higher low of prices. This is the last higher low of prices here. And we'll now take what? The highest point of the chart. And we would now take this window as our new range of focus. So this window is our range of focus, right? Our job as traders, right, is to keep bracketing prices into range of focus until we see a real-time trade entry opportunity. Okay, so now on gold, we've seen clearly, right, that price is bullish without any doubt. Price is bullish because price is on clear coordinations of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so what is the next thing? We've seen clearly that price is bullish. The next thing is what? Okay, let's take the last higher low point of prices. This is the last higher low point of prices. As we can see, this is a small exhaustion, but at least on the monthly time frame, this is the last higher low. All of these are push movements. So this is the last higher low point of prices, and this is the highest point of the chart, or sometimes it could be the most significant high. And we'll now take the structures within this window at our current range of focus. So this is how we'll keep bracketing it. We've seen the range of focus on the monthly. We'll take it like that until we see our opportunities on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so we'll now tag this high here as monthly resistance. Then we'll now tag this level here as monthly higher low. Monthly HL. We'll now take that window, like we said, as our range of focus. Okay, so now expanding that window, right? What is going on within this window that we said is our range of focus? Okay, so from here we saw prices make push, we saw price come for an exhaustion. This is a big structure. Then we saw price start on small structures. Price made push, exhaustion, made smaller one right here, push, exhaustion, and eventually went and made a big one right here, push, exhaustion, and this is push. Okay, this is not yet an exhaustion. This is not an higher low yet because price has not made an higher high. Remember that higher lows are only confirmed by the presence of an higher high. So that means that this level here remains the last higher low of price. You can see that there are weak rejections there. What are the structures again? Let's go again. The structures are what? Are push, exhaustion. Push to this level, price made an exhaustion. A tiny one here, push, exhaustion, then price made an exhaustion right here. Then after this exhaustion, what the prices do? It made a push. Okay, so this still remains what? The last higher low point of prices. So this is the weekly time frame. What are we going to do? We are going to go ahead and target as weekly HL. Okay, so right now, imagine all the information that we saw on gold, right? All the information from the monthly time frame, all of those bulk of information. Right now, we are streamlining prices. We are streamlining prices on the monthly already. We already know that price is bullish. On the weekly also, we've seen that price is, is evidently bullish. All on clear structures of higher highs and higher lows. So we know, right, that if we go onto our entry time frames, which are strictly the 1 hour time frame, we know that if we are buying, it's in the direction of trend, while if we are selling, it is a retracement. Okay, it's important. If we are buying, it's in the direction of trend, while if we are selling, it is a retracement. So we'll now take that window, right, and take that window further to what? To the daily time frame. This window, as we said, is our range of focus. We'll now take it to this daily time frame. What is going on with this daily time frame, right? From here, we saw price make push, we saw price make an exhaustion, push, we saw price make an exhaustion, push to this level, and there is a change of character. The last higher low was taken off. Okay, you can see that what this is the last higher low here. It was taken off. I'll make it pinpoints. Yeah, let me just make sure that everything is good. Just a moment. I wonder why it's not clicking. Yes. So the last higher low, as we can see, was taken off, giving us what? A change of character, allowing us to know that, oh, price is no more bullish. It could be temporarily, right? Because on gold, we know that what? If we are buying, it's a direction of trend, while if we are selling, it's a retracement, right? So, but the last higher low got taken off. Now, we know that what? Retracements end at what? At the 61.8. So, brought out our Fibonacci from the low here and took it to the high right here. And we saw that prices rejected at 61.8. There was the change of character right here, only for prices to end at the 61.8. What are the structures? Push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion, push to this level, change of character, which ended at what? At the 61.8, because 61.8 ends an opportunity in a retracement. It ends retracement, okay? So we will now go ahead and now tag this level as 61.8 potential reversal area. PRA basically means potential reversal area. So this means that what? There's a change of character, yes. However, 61.8 ends a retracement. Okay, that's why we can see that was that prices ended this retracement at what? At the 61.8. So now that price has ended that retracement, what is the next thing that we are now going to do? The next thing that we'll now do is that what? If we see an opportunity, right, in the direction of trend, by what? By, we are going to take it, okay? The retracement have already ended at 61.8. So our job is to see an opportunity in the direction of trend. So all of these bearish structures that brought prices down, right? If I see a change of character of all of these bearish structures, I'm going to buy. Once I see a change of character, and I'm going to buy to the highest point of the broken fractal or of the broken structure circle. Like I said, you will see me using the word fractals and structure circles, interchangeably. They basically mean the same thing, okay? So once the last lower high is taken off, I can buy pinpoint or wait for a discount to 61.8, but this is my end goal, okay? So now that has been figured out, what do? We'll now take this window here to what? To the 4 hours time frame. Let me bring my target a bit closer. Bring my target a bit closer to the monthly resistance point, okay? So within this window here, just like we said, what is going on right here? Okay, so from here, we saw prices make movement like what? Like push. We saw prices come forward, an exhaustion here. Push, we saw prices come for an exhaustion here. Push, we saw price come for an exhaustion here. Push to this 61.8 potential reversal area. And there was a change of character, and the last lower high has gotten taken off, allowing us to know that direction of trend by to the highest point of the broken structure circle. This is take profits. Okay, you can see the clear bearish structures, and you can see where the change of character happened. The last lower high got taken off. Okay, the last lower high has gotten taken off, allowing us to know that price is coming here. However, we also know that what? After a change of character, prices comes for a discount to the 61.8 before takeoff to the entire top. Okay, it does not come for the discount 100% of times, but at least as much as 80% we can see that discount. So now how could we have taken this our trade and made money? And what are we looking for? This trade was last week, right? And what are we looking for to trade this week? Okay, so now for you to have capitalized on this trade, right, you bring out your Fibonacci from the low here, take it to the high right here. And what are we now going to do? We'll now by pinpoint at 61.8 here, by pinpoint at 61.8, I the stop loss at the low here, and my take profits at the highest point right here. You can see the highest point of the broken structure circle at what? At a 1 ratio 3.88 risk to reward. Now the question is what? Prices never got to that point before it lost momentum again, came down, then right now it's about going up. One thing is sure, it will never hit your stop loss. Because what? Because prices must get to this top here. It must get to this top point, which is what? Which is the highest level of take profits. Okay, it must get to that top. So even though price almost got there, it lost momentum, came and grabbed more bulls, and it's on its way back there. It will never hit your stop loss. Okay, so far your stop loss is behind the last low. However, how can we be able to pick trades and not have all our profits erased? That's when it now comes to what they call what? An 80% take profit rule. Okay, we have an 80% take profit rule. Yes, we know that these are our take profits. The highest level, we're by in direction of trend. These are our take profits here. The highest level, sorry about that. The highest level here is our take profit. Everybody knows that, right? Because what we saw prices make all of these movements, push to this level, price come for an exhaustion, push, exhaustion, push to this level, and exhaustion, push to the 61.8, change of character, discount to 61.8 where you can buy pinpoints, hide your stop loss at the low, then push to this level here. However, we have an 80% take profit rule. Okay, so at the highest level is what? Is 1 ratio 3.88. For anything around 1 ratio 3, we should be out of this trade. Just 80% take profit rule. Okay, so anything around here, anything around 1 ratio 3, you should be out of this trade following what? Our 80% take profit rule. Okay, so it's very important that you apply this. Why? Because what? You might have the best analysis in the world and you're surprised to get there, right? However, we don't want situations whereby you can imagine all our profits erase this. Prices was even in a bit of loss before now gathering momentum again. Okay, instead, since prices lost momentum, all of these are opportunities to strike in another trade to keep riding to the top. Okay, so that is very important. So with our 80% take profit rule, would have closed at about 1 ratio 3, even if it's 1 ratio 2.7, whatever 80% of 3.88 is, whatever the 80% is, take your profits. Now that prices now decided that okay, it lost a bit of momentum and came back to to grab more bulls at the low. It came back to grab more bulls at this level here. What am I now going to do? I'm just going to wait for another change of character for me to strike in my entry. Now, where did I see the change of character now? I know that all of these bearish movements are only but retracements. Okay, and I know that I'm still going to buy. So last lower I got taken off, change of character found again. Okay, so now what are the structures? All of these are now push, exhaustion. All of these are push. We saw prices come for the push, exhaustion here, push to this level, exhaustion here, push, and there's a change of character. Now that there's a change of character, we know that what prices will come here, but it will now push to touch this level, the level that this level here, that this one failed to touch, that it needed more bulls. So it failed to grab more bulls. We know that it's coming to this level. So what I'm going to do, our job is what? How can I strike in my entry? So now we know that we have 3 entry variations, right? You can enter pinpoint at the break or at the change of character. That is here. Hide your stop loss at the low here. Somewhere around here should be where your stop loss should be at the low. Then take profit should be here at what? At 1 ratio 1.5. Obviously, we talked about our 80% take profit rule. So anything around 1 ratio 1.2, you should be out of this trade. Okay, anything around here 1 ratio 1.2 should be out of this trade. Okay, if you are using what? Entry variation 1. However, if you want to be patient and see if prices will give you that discount so that you can be able to potentially buy at a cheaper price, what will you do? You now bring your Fibonacci out from the low here, stretch it to the high here, and we are now going to wait and see if prices gives us that discount to 61.8. So at 61.8, what are we going to do? We are going to buy pinpoint, hide our stop loss at the low right here, then ride it to the top right here for about 1 ratio 2.3. But basically anything around 1 to 2. So just following our 80% take profit rule, anything around 1 to 2, we should be out of this trade.